Hey guys, thought I would show a latest video on my latest tank, I guess you'd say. It's a 160 gallon African Cichlid tank. There's probably 115 in there, and now they're small. I realize that they'll need to be thinned down the road, but for now I went nuts on them. I wanted to have a different amount of color, different types. Key with African Cichlids, though, one thing to always remember is when you're adding Africans, you want to have, instead of a low amount, you want to have enough to decrease the aggression. For instance, if somebody has 10 African Cichlids and they get a bully in the tank, I've seen them remove the big one that's the bully, and that just leaves another one to take his place, but less fish to bully, and he starts obliterating the tank. You always want to go up from, like if you had 10 or 20 and you're having a bully or some aggression problems, you want to add another 10 or 20, or in my case another 80. But love the color, love this activity. I did a bubble wall this time, first bubble wall I've done in years, and I love it. Had to get the right pump for it because it wasn't pushing it all the way through. It would bubble on one side and not clear through it. But anyway, that's just a quick rundown of kind of what to do with Africans. Feed them low protein diet, different kinds of foods though, but I try to feed them a low protein diet, which usually is stuff called Algae Max, and then this stuff here is ultra red. It puts colors into the red fish, orange fish. But they're both. This is 38% protein. This is 34% protein, and that's the key, is to keep protein down. They're the Buna that I have is they're herbivores, so they graze on algae and whatnot. Their digestive system isn't great on high protein constantly. One thing I've noticed though, I try to avoid things with high protein, but if you keep the temperature up, like when I'm adding Africans, I'll add 20 or 30, and then I decide I want some more, so I'll add 20 or 30 more. I just leave the heat up. I take the heat up to 86 to keep ick out when it comes, especially in the winter. I just leave it at 86 so I'm done adding Africans. Once I'm done, I'll wait 10 days and then turn the heat down to normal once I'm done with it. But you'll have better luck if you keep the heat up with Africans until you're done adding them. Anyway, we'll get up close here and let you see some of them. A little closer up. The tank's got just a little bit of a fog to it. Not because it's a new tank. I pulled over the biological media from the other tanks. I think it's this dragon stone that I put in has had some kind of a clay or dirt in the grooves. It's still kind of filtering out. It's better than it was. I think it'll go away with a few more water changes. Nothing I'm worried about. I'm just anxious to get it looking even more crystal clear. In this castle right here, there is at least 40 red-tailed loaches that came over from another tank. You can see a few right there, but there is actually 40 in there. You wouldn't think there's enough room. It doesn't look that big on camera, but there is room for 40 fish to fly in there, hang out. There's also, I don't see them here, but there's 6 gold Nigrita Synodontis cats that are in there. They're quite small, but they're under the rocks, or there's a loach right there. Anyway, the blues, yellows, orange, some rusties, some albino Cichlids. I forget what these are even called. I call them cool. but love the different colors, love the albinos. I want to also add here, if I can, I'm going to turn the light out and just turn on what the night light looks like with this at night, just briefly. Let's see if it'll work. Well, it's going to show up pretty good. They got the reflection of the other tanks in the background, but you get the idea. Way prettier in person. The video doesn't show it with the reflections around the room, but so there we have it, the 160-gallon African Cichlid tank. Kind of work in progress, still adding, I might add a few more Africans to it, believe it or not, we'll see. But I'm also trying to mess with the rock a little bit, trying to get it just how I like it. The loaches love those castles so much in the last tank that I decided might as well bring them over for this. And I was right, they just love them. They just hang out in there. They come out at night or in the evening, or when you feed them. And that's what's quite fun, is when you feed them, they'll, like I said, there's 40 loaches in there, so they'll come flying out trying to find that food. And I had the loaches at one time in with this guy, and he didn't kill anybody, but he loved to chase them, and so he kept them herded in there. Now they just stay in out of desire, I assume, because there's no one in there that can hurt them. But they come out more at night, like I said. But so once it clears up completely, I'm going to do another video detailing just, how nice it looks. All my other tanks are crystal clear. This one, again, it's not because of the biological media, or it's not cycled. It's because of the rock I put in that I didn't rinse as good as I should have, which couldn't believe how much clay was stuck in those grooves once I pulled it back out and started rinsing them. So take a little bit, but I still like it the way it is right now. It'll just get better looking. This tank's an Aqueon. They call it a Aqueon 150, but the dimensions, it's actually 2.5 inches taller than my saltwater 150 from Marineland. So the dimensions it makes it over 161, but they call it a 150. So anyway, somewhere between 150 and 160, but it's really love the height on it. I just thought this had to be an African tank with the different kinds of color and cichlids, and they hang out in the rocks. They hang out at the top. I love how when you go to feed them, they all shoot up to the top like that. That's probably the funnest thing about Africans, is watching them come to the top of the tank when you put your hand up to feed them. Anyway, I'll finish this video, but I'm just going to let it run here for a second and just finish it off in silence. But wanted to show you the bubble wall, the Africans, the rock. I think it looks pretty good. I'm not sure I love it completely. Something I might need to do to it. I don't know if it's more rock or something, but loving it right now. So enjoy. Thank you for watching.